Hi, I'm Barbara Paparo. I was born November 18th, 1942 in South Philadelphia. So, let's see, the war started for us on December 7th, 1941. My parents were contemplating getting married. They were going to get married in February. This happened in December, like 2 months before. So they went ahead with their plans to get married. And here my mother got pregnant right away and thought for sure that my father would not get drafted because he was 36 years old with a baby on the way. But lo and behold, he got drafted. And he left when I was 1 month old. He went, first he was in the United States for training camp, and then he went over to Germany, and he ended up spending time in Germany, France, and Italy. He was a soldier in the United States Army. He also was involved in D-Day. My father was involved with that, and so was his brother, my uncle. And I remember, like, after finding out that they were so worried about each other because they were in different camps and they didn't know if each one had survived. So the good part about it was my mother and everybody at home did not realize what was going on at the time. So they just kept the home fires burning. My mother moved back in with her mother and her sisters because she was alone with an infant baby. My mother would take pictures of me all the time and send it to my father. And what I remember most, being like maybe 4 years old, was the blackouts. That a siren would go off in the neighborhood certain time at night, and we all had black shades on our windows, and we had to shut the lights and pull all the shades down. And it was called blackout because it was practice for if any of the German ever came across into our area, they would be flying planes at night and looking for lights to know that there was a city down there. So what they would do is make us practice to make a total blackout, so if enemy planes did come, they wouldn't know it was a residential city, and they would just leave school. We had drills in school. It was crazy because an alarm would go off and we would all get under our desk to protect us from an atomic bomb. Now, if you've ever seen those desks, they were little wooden desks, and we all would laugh like, "Get under your desk, hurry up, this is a drill, get under your desk." And we would all get under our desk and wait until the all clear signal. And my mother didn't have to go to work. She didn't have, she stayed home taking care of her mother and taking care of the baby. My aunts who were single at the time, they all went to work. And some of them worked in places where they were making war supplies. And we would go to matinees every Saturday. And for a nickel, we would stay in the movie from 12 o'clock in the afternoon, probably till 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, watching all the serials. They had all the same serials every week. It would be like, continuation of the show. And that was what everybody did on Saturday afternoon. And my father didn't come home till I was 5 years old. I remember, I was in my crib, and I remember my mother telling me to stand up, that this, strange man was there. And he was hugging me and kissing me, but I had no idea who he was. I mean, he left when I was a month old, and I didn't see him again until I was 5 years old. I think back now, why didn't we ask him a million questions about what life was like when, the war was on? But, they just kind of picked up the pieces and went back to living their life, They all started having babies, and that was the baby boomers. And that's when my brother was born. So everybody was like back busy with their lives again. My father got his job back, and they went to work, and the aunts all started to get married and move, and my mother stayed with her mother, taking care of her. And nobody dwelled on the war anymore.